Hey everyone, I hope you're well. This is CoinsKid, just gone over to Bitcoin, but get a CoinsKid cruise. So I'm looking at the futures heat map on CoinsKid.com, and at the moment, a lot of neutral signals. A lot of the coins are sitting in neutral territory. We do have the buy long medium outpacing the short and sell medium at the moment. So for me, I think it's a bit of a buyer's market at the moment, not necessarily a shorter's market, because we are quite in the floor across the board, and I'm seeing some bullish divergence prop up on the lower time frames as well. So looking at the fear and greed right now, we are currently sitting at 29. Yesterday was at 27, so we are seeing a little bit of an uptick. And last month we were 26. So we got quite low in the fear and greed last month. And what we do have, if you take a look on the heat map right now for the futures only, we do have a couple of coins here that quite far down the rankings, Wojak and ZZZ. So I'll take a quick look at Wojak and I'll see if there's anything going on for the CoinsKid crew. So this is how I identify opportunities. If we switch to log right now, I am currently on the 4-hourly time frame. The yellow line is the 4-hour 20 EMA right there. Now what we do have, if you take a look, is a bullish divergence on the 4-hour time frame here in this down for us. So basically what I like to do to spot opportunity, I like to move to the left. So you can clearly see this is actually in an uptrend. If you take a look on the 4-hourly time frame from October, we've got this little uptrend on the go here. We're making a series of higher highs and higher lows. Even this drawdown here is still a higher low to this low. Okay, look at that. So possibly we bottomed down here on the 13th, on the 28th of September 2023, and we're doing incredibly well. Okay, so we've been coming up ever since, and in May of this year we've had this whopping correction for this particular project. Okay, but overall, generally, what we are doing here is making series of high highs and high lows. Okay, so we've got these 3 pivot points just there, where possibly some kind of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, a beautiful little move, and right now we're having some kind of ABC coming back. Okay, but we are still maintaining this projection of an uptrend from this pivot low here in October of 2023, basically a year ago. Okay, so what I'm looking at is, if you take a look, every time we break a resistance point here, so we've got resistance, 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 breakout, back test, resistance, 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 breakout, back test, that resistance. Okay, and that's exactly what we're doing just there. We've got this resistance, 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 and what we've done, we've broken out and we're back testing this leg of previous resistance as support. So there's no reason to think, there's nothing in the charts that tells me that this is not a buy, because every time we break out, we backtest the previous resistance, break out, backtest previous resistance, break out, backtest this previous resistance. So we're sitting round about where we were there and where we were there and where we were there, basically. So this is a beautiful uptrend for Wojak. So for me, I personally look to buy this coin on BitGet. Again, it's entirely up to you if you want to copy what I'm doing, but I'll start to add some of this position, because all we're doing at the moment is breaking out and backtesting the previous level of previous resistance and support. So this is a beautiful uptrend for this particular project, Wojak. I do actually have some of this, and I've looked at this coin before with you many moons ago. I did buy some, and I announced it on Twitter and equally shown you in a video as well. But until we start to break down here, this is clearly in a beautiful uptrend since October of last year. Okay, so I think possibly some kind of ABC correction at the moment for this particular project. So for me, if you take a look at the moment as well on the 4-hourly time frame, we do have a nice little bullish divergence that's forming here. So we've got these lower lows on the index, but on the RSI, if you take a look when we got oversold in August of this year, we are actually creating a beautiful pivot point, which is basically a lower low in the index and then a high low in the RSI. So the 4-hourly time frame is a good time frame to look at, and what we may have is some kind of falling wedge where we're doing something like this, and we've got 3 points of support, and right now we've had a last point of support with bullish divergence, so we should in theory be looking to come back up on this particular project and continue your uptrend basically that we've got for this particular project. So for me at the moment, that's a buy. Okay, but again, this is volatile, this is crypto, this is very volatile space, investing in altcoins, so only invest what you can afford to lose. But yeah, that's Wojak on BitGet. Now let's take a look at the other coin that I've noted on the heat map right here, ZZZ. Okay, so I'll take a quick look at this ZZZ. Now what I've noticed from this coin is absolutely tanked here, but what I see as an opportunity, obviously the risk for continuation to the downside is there, but what I'm seeing is a clue in the charts right now straight away off the bat. I don't know what's happened to this coin, some negative news or whatever, but straight away off the bat, I'm seeing an opportunity to just buy this coin and forget about it, set some alert for when it retests this level of resistance, and then sell it. Because, we trade this so many times in this channel. It's called a God Candle Breakdown Backtest. And like I've just shown you, for example, you're moving from left to right, you break out in a god candle, look at that, you always come back to it to back test it. It's the same on the way down. When you waterfall down like this, you'll always 9 times out of 10 see these projects come back up, back test resistance, you know, and then the sellers are still there, and boom, it just collapses again, or, you know, comes back down and looking for high-low structure to reverse the trend, basically. Really, really simple technical analysis. So what I'm looking to do is buy this coin. There's equally another reason, which I'm outlining here as well, why I'm buying this coin, and then sell it on that red line at 0.11024. So, you know, if I forget about this coin, buy it now and forget about it, set an alert up, I am looking at appreciation of roughly you know, 892%. Obviously it's a risk, and you know, it's a risk I'm willing to take. That's why I will not put all my money into it, but again, I think you can buy this on BitGet, and you know, what I'm looking for is to just flip this in time. Now, why am I buying? You know, with the confluence of the fact that I think that we'll come up and backtest that resistance eventually, because this is support, 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 melted through it in a god candle. So slowly but surely this will work its way back up into that in time, and then you'll say, oh, CoinsKid's got a crystal ball. But no, I've shown you why this happens. I don't know why it happens, but it does. You know, it happens on the up and it happens on the down. But anyway, there is also another clue here. What we have is a whopping bullish divergence just here for this particular project. Okay, really, really oversold, and we're making higher lows in the RSI, but lower lows in the index right there. So I think a clue could be, once we get our ass back above the 20 EMA on the 4-hourly time frame, that could be a clue. Okay, we'll start some kind of retracement back up eventually, slowly but surely, to that red line. So at the minute, I'm a buyer, not a crier, and I'm seeing a lot of opportunities like this across the board. I don't know why this is collapsed. You know, perhaps you could write that in the comments, but you know, let's dive into the Bitcoin chart right now. I do apologize, but just a couple of opportunities that I've spotted today. You know, I'll take a little risk, and I'll always relay that message to you. Okay, so that's the heat map on CoinsKid.com. Let me dive into the Bitcoin chart right now and see what we can see. Okay, so taking a look at Bitcoin on the weekly time frame. At the moment, I'm tracking this broadening descending wedge. You know, I'm looking for the invalidation of this pattern, and by that I mean, if we start to break down below this support where we keep bouncing, you know, you'll begin to invalidate this pattern. If you start to break up above this resistance, then we'll begin to validate this pattern, and at that point the target will be, you know, the all-time high. Basically, you're breaking out right there. So we're looking for a resistance break of this level of resistance, so we keep getting rejected, or obviously a loss of support of this trend line here, because obviously, you know, these patterns are not guaranteed. For example, you know, you got this beautiful falling wedge here, it's not guaranteed that it will do this, but obviously it's a reversal pattern, and this is something that I did relay to you on the way down. 1 point resistance, 2nd point resistance. When we test this for the 3rd time, we in theory should break it, and that was something I kept telling you the whole way down in this C wave, that once we take this out, this is all systems go to come back up into that leg and then the all-time high, and we've done exactly that, okay, for Bitcoin. So this was an amazing opportunity, you know, that I relayed to you at the time. But I remember all the pessimism, the naysayers, no way, the reply guys, you know, the negative feelings down here and so on and so forth. But I was just relaying the technical pattern that I saw. Okay, so again, this is a technical pattern at the moment that, if I'm correct, and it is a broadening descending wedge, then, you know, in theory we should begin to break this resistance and continue here, because what this is clearly an uptrend with overlapping corrective waves coming back, looking for the continuation. Okay, so again, it's not bullshit, it's not hopium, it's not, you know, I'm making this up or anything like that. I'm just relaying the data and the pattern that I see to you. Okay, so basically the descending wedge, the descending broadening wedge pattern indicates a likely buying opportunity after a downtrend or an existing uptrend. Descending broadening wedge has the appearance of a bearish megaphone pattern, which is, you know, exactly what this is doing right now. It's got this sort of broadening megaphone pattern. So again, I'm looking for the invalidation, break down below support, you know, invalidates the pattern, break above. Wow, you know, hold on to your pants, because this thing could be about to explode if we see that break of resistance. So at the minute, you know, I'm just kicking back, relax. I'm looking for some opportunities to go long on Bitcoin. I am adding to my spot positions, obviously, but with Bitcoin, I'm looking for that long trade, basically. And I'm not going to jump in just yet, because, you know, what we do have is this big wick here, and 9 times out of 10, we do see these wicks filled in Bitcoin. Okay, so we need to sort of come back, hold this wick, hold this low, and then look for some divergences, potentially on the daily and the 4-hourly, the high time frames right there, with confluence of the fact that many other indicators that I look at, build some long positions in the hope that, you know, we start to come back up and break that resistance. Because once we do, I think we're just getting the party started here, and we've got a 1 into a 2 into a 3 into a 4, and then we're looking for continuation. So I'm seeing some lovely little setups across the board. Pessimism is really, you know, depressions here, and people think the bull market's gone and things like that. But, you know, one other thing I'm looking for as well as confluence is what we did way back there after that correction, the ABC last year. We're looking to get our ass back above this lifeline. Okay, so once it starts to get back above this lifeline and flips green on the lifeline, I think that would be a strong indication the correction's over as well. Okay, so I'll keep you updated as best I can, but at the minute for me this is a a potentially bullish reversal pattern that we're creating, just like this one was, this huge falling wedge. It was only an opportunity, and I think that at the moment this is a broadening opportunity basically. So I hope you enjoyed that update. I will post a long setup if I see one in the CoinsKid crew Discord right there, and hopefully get the video and time as well. Okay, stay healthy, stay strong, stay tuned. Take care everyone. Back to another update on Bitcoin. Bye bye.